Still reviewing Punch. Who has the story?
Yeah, the fire that happened on Sunday, the Mandilas building on Broad Street, they said that about 450 shops and 30 offices, 2 hotels and 5 restaurants were destroyed in the impact of the fire of the 14-story building. They said billions of naira were lost. They said before the fire engine got there, when they got there, there was no access to the building. So it started, and it also started from somebody welding on the first floor, a generator. They were welding a generator to the building or something, and it caught fire. And I think they didn't notice till they reached the 7th floor.
Oh my Lord.
So, by the time they noticed, the whole complex was on fire, and it affected other shops, not just that building, other shops, and
Yeah, they're all.
Mandilas is a very big plaza.
I remember even when I was
But the way
a
it
kid,
is, I'm sure even getting to it when the fire started must have been very difficult.
Okay, so I have the CBN story. It says a new report has rejected that the CBN may ask commercial banks, especially those that have international banking license, to raise their capital base to 900 billion naira. The governor of the CBN, Olayemi Cardoso, said the Apex Bank will be asking lenders to raise more capital in order to support the federal government's vision to grow the economy to $1 trillion. According to the Banking Sector 2024 Outlook report, it says Nigeria banks may be required to boost their capital, with projections indicating an increase in ranging from 181 billion, that's for those local banks, and those with international license, to over 900 billion naira.
So kidnapping, major headline in the Punch carries that most abductions within Abuja isn't even getting reported. That in a separate conversation with Amnesty International and the Nigerian Society of Criminology, Punch found out that these 2 people were saying that many people that get abducted, families are told not to involve the police, not to report to the police, and because they don't even trust the system, they just go ahead and source for the funds they can and pay the ransom quietly. And so the accounts that the police is working with right now, the reports is not. It doesn't take the full cognizance of the level of kidnapping that is now happening. Punch is saying that the attacks kidnapping used to be something that happened in the northern part of Nigeria, but now, not west, but now it is mainstream within many states and even in FCT. They interviewed a particular man, Shegun Reti, the father of a 13-year-old Miracle, who was kidnapped in a Koto area of Lagos State. Said he did not involve the police. He said, we received threats that if we told the police, they were going to kill our daughter, and so he said he gathered the money to pay. Another family also, Kubwa, said that they were abducted in Kubwa in Abuja. They also chose to pay without mentioning anything to the police. They also mentioned that there's fear of reprisal attack, that people that get kidnapped are worried that the police might know, that the kidnappers might have access to the police, and they will find out that they are the ones going to tell the police about what is going on. Even some Agor residents refuse to mention their names. That right now, if you walk around in Agor Palace area of Lagos State, it is extremely dangerous. That case of kidnapping in Agor Palace area is not new, but it has become more common late last year, and that they acknowledge that the police has come to rescue for some people, but that most cases you pay ransom before you see the victim. Just a general assessment of kidnapping in Nigeria and how it is largely underreported.
Quickly now to Daily Sun. Insecurity, Obi Bode George Middle Belt Forum raise alarm. Rivers crisis deepens as court voids state's 2024 budget redeployment of clerk and deputy clerk. Tinubu running inclusive government says can. Lassa fever outbreak hits FCT, emergency operation centers activated. AFCON. 6 Guinea fans died jubilating country's victory. Really sad indeed. Supreme Court judgment. The Magistrates Court denies 38 protesting women bail in Nasarawa. No financially challenged person will be left out of student loan, says Tinubu. Drama in Plateau Assembly as 16 sacked PDP members vow to resume legislative work. Okay, which story? Let me start with CAN. So the leadership of CAN, Most Reverend Daniel Oko, has said and declared that the President Bola Tinubu has an inclusive government, and his pronouncements so far have increased the confidence of Nigerians. He said this after his visit to the State House yesterday. He met with the president at the villa. Oko observed that most of the challenges currently facing the country were inherited, applauded the president for balanced appointments. On the purpose of their visit, the leadership of CAN visited the president, saying that it was a courtesy visit just to support his administration. He said the president has been very fair in his appointments so far and has been very inclusive. He advised the president to continue the path of inclusion, which has been evident from the beginning of his administration. That's from CAN, who vehemently opposed him before he came into power. Okay.
Yes, I have this disturbing story. They say 38 women and others who were protesting last Friday in Lafia, Nasarawa State, after the Supreme Court judgment affirming Governor Abdullahi Sule as the duly elected governor of the state have been denied bail. And this is despite the plea from their counsel. So that means they've been locked up since last Friday for peaceful protests. So the report says that they were on a peaceful protest. And they have, the matter came up before the court yesterday. They said they were listened to, but they were not granted bail, and the case has been adjourned to Thursday. The counsel for the defendants is saying that, yes, saying that they've been, they asked that the court look at this situation with some mercy. It says some of these women are breastfeeding women, their children are at home, there are some other sick women, they're still being held despite application by their legal counsel to grant them bail. This sounds really, this sounds disturbing. I mean, for peaceful protests.
Yeah. Did you see the one that
24
was
hours? No.
That was one
Nasarawa State.
From Nasarawa State too.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard.
To express
Find a
themselves now.
story. We've not
No,
taken.
we're still in
On
Sun.
Sun.
There's a story in Sun. Lassa fever outbreak. There is Lassa fever right now in Abuja. Confirmed in FCT that there are 2 cases of Lassa fever confirmed. A 14-month-old baby and a 15-year-old female, respectively, have been confirmed with Lassa fever. There is no mortality. They also mentioned that as of January 15, 2024, the Lassa fever department in Abuja also has raised this as a way to ensure that everybody is aware that it is now, because we know it is communicable. So once it's already in a community, it can likely spread if it is not handled. But there's been no mortality within Abuja. Of course, they've been battling it in other states before now. They mentioned Bauchi, that they had a few cases in Bauchi, the Tafawa Balewa Teaching Hospital in Bauchi. They also mentioned that it also involved a baby and a 14-month-old baby and a teenage 23-year-old. So I think parents, from all the reports, it's more of younger people that are falling into it. Maybe they pick things from the floor or they are eating. Parents need to be more observant, and we need to educate everybody around us about how to prevent Lassa fever.
Vanguard, quickly. I know Waike had a story. I wanted to take the... Daddy, don't allow them kill us. Father of kidnapped sisters, recount daughter's ordeal in captivity. Major headline, rumpus over relocation of federal agencies to Lagos. About an explosion, apart from dead bodies, we picked up body parts from rubbles. Kidnapping, Tinubu approves emergency procurement of tackling equipment. And over 1.1 million new COVID-19 cases recorded 28 days globally, says WHO. Okay, which story? Why you want to take that story?
Yeah, so the Mansour Al-Qadir, and the father of the 6 girls that were abducted, said he had come home from work about 7, and he was not feeling very well. They gave him food, but he said his daughter should make him ogi, pap. He ate just a little, and then he went to lie down. He told his wife he wasn't feeling too well. He went to lie down. He had just moved in 2 months ago to this house, and so they hadn't completed it, they hadn't put in all their furniture. He said he was sleeping, I think it was late at night, maybe midnight. He heard this banging. So he went and checked. He saw them at the gates, banging the gates. So he went and told his wife, armed robbers. They switched off the lights, and they got in. The armed robbers now got in, and then... But while they were trying to get in, so there was time. While they were trying to get in, he tried to call the neighbors. He couldn't get anybody. He called his brother and told his brother to
get help,
get the police. So the brother was now coming with the police while they were in the
Premises.
By this time, the armed robbers now
got into the
got
house.
access to the house, made all of them lie down. They now tied him up and started to, I can't remember what he said. He was tied up, child. I think maybe, I'm not going to say because I can't remember, but that then his brother, he now saw them coming.
Yeah.
But the bandits too had seen them,
police
so they
coming.
went into other houses and they started firing. They killed his brother.
Oh.
His brother that went,
Get the
killed his brother. I think 2 of the policemen self got killed. They blocked off, the police car
they
blocked
can't
off
miss
the brother, so the brother couldn't escape. Anyway, they now took all of them
And then killed his
into
daughter.
the bush. He said for 8 hours. And he wasn't even wearing slippers, he was wearing shorts and a singlet because he was in bed. They took all of them to the village. He said one of the bandits was very friendly. So he was talking to that one. That one said, better do what Oga says. Do what Oga says. He said the guy was trying to speak Yoruba, but I don't think he was Yoruba. So they asked him, is he a soldier? He said, no, he's not a soldier, he's a civil servant. He said, best thing, just bring the money. The Oga now spoke to say, I will release you to go and get the money. Make sure you bring the money or we'll kill your daddy, your daughters. The daughters started begging, daddy, don't let them
Kill us.
Don't let them kill us. That's how they released him. And they asked him how much. He said he could afford 2 million. They said, which 2 million? You should count how many children that they have here. Oyago. He finally raised the money, not before that first child was killed. He says that the police, one of his uncles was saying that the police are saying that the ones that released, that no, they paid ransom. And the bandits told them where to go and pick the
children.
the girls.
So the police just followed them to where to pick up the
They said they saw an army post when they were going to drop the money. They now said, please escort us. That's where that's how they picked their girls. Very, very sad.
He's going to be traumatized for life. He can never be the same.
He lost
again.
his
Just one night.
brother that night. Then his daughter was killed. And
Traumatized. He will be traumatized.
then
His
the
wife will be
police force
traumatized.
lost
The
2
whole
gallant
family.
officers.
Unfortunately, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. We have to wrap up. Really, really
Okay,
sad
wait,
story. On our hearts go out to that family. Just a painful state.
The kidnappers chose the location, chose everything.
We're going to break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.